Hello everyone, I'm Rick Wright with the Livestock Markets Association of Canada with this week's regional livestock market report for Eastern Canada coming out of Ontario, and it's brought to you this week by the Canadian Angus Association. This is for the week starting on December the 14th, 2020. In Ontario in the past week on the live cattle and dress bids on the fed cattle, we saw some resistance. We did have one major plant that had some COVID issues this week. That reduced their processing capacities at the plant, pretty much took them off the market and disrupted the fat cattle sales for the week. However, it didn't really spill over onto the feeder cattle market as it was still fairly active. On the fed cattle market for the week, live sales were 136 to 140. That was averaging about 232 on the rail. Deliveries were being delayed due to that COVID issue at the plant. Cows in Ontario for the week averaged 51 cents across the board, with the killing cows topping at 68. Feeding cows, of course, bringing a premium price over top of that. The good killing bulls in Ontario in the past week, 85 to 91. Topping sales for the week at 103. On the feeder cattle market, they had a lighter week this past week in Ontario. 4,600 cattle sold at the public auctions. Now that is the feeder cattle, not including the cows and the fed cattle. That's down from 69.50 a year ago. On the prices, though, we saw pretty steady prices. Your good 300 to 400 pound stocker steer calves averaged $2.54 for the province of Ontario. High sellers for the week came out of the Katy market, Terra, at $307.50. 4 to 5 weights at averaged $141 and a quarter. Katy had the high sellers again for the week at $284. On your 5 to 600 pound steers, they averaged $218, with the high sales of the week at Cookstown at $265. 6 to 7 weights averaged $197 for the week, with the high sellers at $230 in Katy. The 7 to 800 pound steers in Ontario for the week averaged $179, with the high sellers coming out of Renfrew Pontiac at $201. On the heavier weight steers, your good yearling steers averaged $175, with the high sellers coming out of Renfrew again at $189.50. Your 9 to 1,000 pound steers averaged $170, with Olex at Waterloo topping the market at $189, and your steers over the 1,000 averaged $168, with Kawartha Lakes topping the market this week at $187. Moving over to the heifer trade in Ontario for the week, the good 300 to 400 pound stocker heifers, they traded at an average for the week at $207.75, with the high sellers over at Katy at $249. Katy also topped the market on the 400 to 500 pounders at $192 on the average for the province. Katy reporting in at $238. Your 500 to 600 pound heifers, $185 for the week. Exceptionally strong sales at Cookstown up to $229. 600 to 700 pounders, $174.75 on the heifer market for the week. Kawartha Lakes coming in at $205 for the high seller of the week. Your 700 to 800 pounders, they were a little softer this week at $155.50, with Renfrew coming in with the high sellers at $190. On the yearling heifers and heavier weight heifer calves, your 800 to 900 pounders averaged a lower price this week at $145 and a quarter. We saw Katy market topping off at $175. Your 9 to 1,000 pound heifers averaged $134 for the week. High sellers over at Olex at Kitchener-Waterloo at $163. But tune into the Canadian Angus site for updated prices from both Eastern and Western Canada. And today, on behalf of the LMAC and the Canadian Angus Association, I'm Rick Wright. Have a good day, good marketing, and stay safe.